Okay, so
Welcome to The Age of Emails and Why We Should Be Part of It.
by Annie and Christy Hearn.
Pros to getting an email.
So one of the pros is communication. It's a lot easier to set up a play date without the extra hassle of calling and using a parent's email to another parent's email. And if a parent's away on a trip, it's a lot easier to email them because you don't have to worry about like sending an email through their account to their account or from the other parent's account to that parent's account. And it's emails to family. We would be able to send more emails to family because we know, hey, I can just click on here and use my account without having to worry about, oh, can I use his account? Would that be okay right now? Or, oh, can I use her account? Is something going on right now that wouldn't be okay?
And two other pros are we won't be on the phone all the time, and we can use email instead of like always calling our friends or our relatives. We can just email them to make it easier. Now, I'm not saying that we won't call them, but it will slow down our phone traffic. And also, we can get a sense of responsibility that we're going to use in college, and when we grow up, this is going to help us get more responsible and get to know what we're doing in the real world.
Also, our emails wouldn't be on your screens. You wouldn't have to scroll through wondering about, oh, is this one for Christy and Annie? Our emails would be on our screens.
Problems with getting an email and how we can solve them.
One of the cons is emails can have scams or other things trying to trick you. How we could solve that? Fix that by having you come and check if there's a scam or an email from an unknown account, and we could block that account.
Another problem is people can cyberbully you, but what we do is we ignore it, and you guys can help us block that account if we don't know. If there's an unknown account, we can just block it or ask you guys for help. Do you have any problems that you think we might encounter that we might be able to solve? Yes.
What about potential viruses?
Potential viruses. If there is any email from an unknown account, we will ask you before opening that into our browser.
Yes.
So we won't just open any random email in our inbox. If it's an email from an unknown account, we'll ask you before opening it.
Will we have access to the email account ourselves?
We're getting
Yes, you can view our email account as often or as not often as you want.
As we get to that, rules and guidelines for emails. You can always look at our emails, no matter what. We'll give you the password, and you can look at this as much as you want.
If an email from an unknown account pops up, we'll always tell you about it, and if it's dangerous, we'll block it.
We have to ask you who we can send emails to. We can't just like say, I'm going to go send an email to Eden, or I'm going to send Roberta an email without asking you first.
We could get a list of established people who we can send emails to, and then if we're sending an email to a friend, you're allowed to look over it to see, oh, is this okay? Is this not okay?
And if we do something irresponsible online, of course, you can take away our account if there's something that we're not supposed to be doing. In general, they're a fun way to connect with our friends.
They can help us communicate with our friends and even you, as I said earlier. If you're on a trip, we don't have to worry about, can I use this account to go there? Can I use this account? Do I have to send an email from that person to that person? It's a lot easier if family's on a trip.
And having an email helps us get ready with responsibility for when we're in college, and because technology is, for our generation, it's really important, and getting to know technology will help us be more responsible when we get older.
Plus, emails aren't the worst kind of technology around, so it would sort of ease us into the world of technology before we sort of are boom into it before we know what's going on.
Thank you. Any questions?
Have you thought about where you would set up your email account? What server would you use? What company would you use?
We would use Google email, so Gmail, because that's probably the easiest one, and it's free. And you guys have easy access to it. It's not like certain on one server. And it would be on our computer, and you guys we tell you the password, and you can help us set it up. And we think about doing it on Gmail just because that's the easiest way.
And you guys have accounts on Gmail, so that tells us also that it's safe, because if it wasn't safe, you guys wouldn't have accounts on Gmail.
What do you think the one biggest strength of email is?
It helps you communicate with like my friends and my family, like Aunt Teresa and Grandma Curran. Like I don't always have to, like if one night we open our calendar and you guys aren't here, I don't have to say, oh, I'm not allowed to go into their email, I'm not allowed to send her an email, or like I really want to send her an email but I can't do that because they're not here, or am I allowed to? I don't want to do something irresponsible with your account, which I wouldn't. Wow, I'm gonna rephrase that. I want to make sure that I don't want to do something on your account that you wouldn't like without asking permission.
And Annie, what do you think?
Also, I agree with Christy on communication, because it's a lot easier. It saves like the money of buying stamps and paper, and we can just click send an email, much less paper or money going around. So it also sort of saves stuff, but it's also the biggest pro to me is communicating.
And
What do
also,
Go ahead.
Also, when you get a Gmail account, you also have access to slides and documents. So with those, that'd make it easier for me to access my writing. I could start doing that in Google Docs so that I can't just have it, I don't have it just on my computer. Like if we're out and about and I want to work on it, you have your laptop, I could just like pull that up to show you or something like that, because I can access it from anywhere if I can just sign in there.
And what do you think is the one biggest risk?
Like, what I think is like scams and viruses, basically unknown accounts. But as we stated earlier, we could always have you guys come check it out before we open the email. We'd say, guys, do you think this is a scam, or do you think it would hold a virus? Because even though we would also be at risk from viruses, you guys, since you have emails, you are also at an equal risk of getting viruses.
And we know how to, you guys could teach us how to block an email. So if we know like an account is doing something kind of irresponsible that we don't know about, we could just block that account and they can't send us emails anymore. And it would be just really, I think that's the main problem, and that has an easy solution to it.
Yes.
So if you had an email account, how will you decide who to give your email address to?
I would send it to friends. Friends that I trust, that I know I can trust that email with, to family members like Aunt Teresa, Grandma Curran, Grandma and Grandpa Hassan, people that I would like to email to, like one that I can't communicate with. I wouldn't give it to any old person, I'd give it to my friends and family that I trust.
We go over with you who it's okay to give our email address to. We wouldn't just say, oh, I'm going to write my email address on a bit of paper and fling it out in the wind, and whoever catches it writes it back. He writes me on email.
And if I were to send an email to someone, I would ask you if that's okay first. Like if I want to send one to Eden or something, I'd say, hey, can I send Eden an email? Instead of just click, 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 send. There it is out there on the internet. Yes.